So, here's what I enjoyed the most about this movie that genuinely put a smile on my face. And that's the surprise that Tom Hopper is in this film from the Umbrella Academy. I couldn't believe it when he popped up on screen. I was like, is that Luther? Oh my God, I'm so happy for him. He's the first off of that show to get a solid movie role, like in a big movie. Well, a kind of big movie. And that would not have been my bet that he would go first. But here he is. And he does a really nice job. I see more movies in his future. And in fact, I looked it up, and he's in the upcoming new Resident Evil movie, where I'm sure he'll also do a really good job. Now, as for the rest of this movie, meh. I mean, it's pretty standard stuff. Gorgeous locations, check. Lots of big action sequences, check. Product placement for cars, check. The Range Rovers do look very good. And we don't usually see Range Rover product placements, so that was entertaining. And then a bunch of movie stars phoning it in for what I imagine is a decent paycheck. Well, maybe phoning it in is unfair. I mean, everyone here does solid work. A little bit better than phoning it in, but close to phoning it in. Like, it's unfair, but not off the radar when it comes to phoning it in. I mean, it's just not anything we haven't seen them done before. This whole movie isn't anything that we haven't seen before. I mean, there are so many films like this already, many of them much better, so it's hard to get excited about one more that doesn't add anything new to the mix. Ryan Reynolds doesn't even seem to be doing much bodyguarding this time around, so the title doesn't make a ton of sense. In fact, in the movie, instead of calling it The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, they call it The Hitman, The Bodyguard, and The Con Woman. Well, that's how they address them. And that would have been a better title. I'm surprised that during the whole PR campaign, no one was like, well, since we actually say that several times in the movie, maybe that should be the title of the film? I mean, that still would have Hitman and Bodyguard in the name. And again, there's a lot of talk about bodyguarding, but I felt actually not that much bodyguarding. Now, the thing is, of course, that Ryan Reynolds, Samuel L. Jackson, and Salma Hayek are all movie stars for a reason, and they're very entertaining even when they're this close to phoning it in. So the movie's got that going for it, and the locations really are gorgeous. I'm sure everyone who made this movie had a really good time filming it because they got to go on vacation to Italy. I wish they'd taken us instead of making us watch this movie. But anyway, are you living a life on the go? Would you like to add some luxury as well? Well, then you should sign up for HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Every week, you get to choose from over 27 recipes. We're talking vegetarian meals, calorie-smart choices, craft burgers, and extra special gourmet options. You get to make beautiful quality meals right at home thanks to quick, easy instructions, which are 28% cheaper than most grocery stores and 72% cheaper than eating at most restaurants. Tonight, you could be having Szechuan beef and green beans. The candied peanuts in that are so good. You could be having prosciutto-wrapped chicken with truffle chive mashed potatoes, also delicious. Or the black bean and poblano quesadilla. I have not tried that one yet. And here's a deal for you to save even more money. Go to HelloFresh.com/BTT12 and use code BTT12 for 12 free meals, including free shipping. Again, you go to HelloFresh.com/BTT12 and use code BTT12 for 12 free meals, including free shipping. And sometimes that's what you want to do. You want to make a great dinner and watch a movie that's watchable. Like Infinite, that's not watchable. I tried. That's why I didn't review it. I couldn't watch it. But The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard is totally watchable. I just don't think it's worth watching in theaters, to be honest with you. And these days, with the pandemic and so many streaming options, that's a valid question. So down the line, when you're trying to figure out what to stream, yeah, I'd click on The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. You can watch it while you're eating your dinner, and then you could have it on the background while you do other things. It's that type of movie. You know the exact type of movie I'm thinking of, and while you might chuckle now, down the line, you will be grateful for it, because then you'll be stuck watching Infinite otherwise. So those are your choices, and I would definitely go to The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, which is only in theaters, but it'll hit streaming eventually. Spiral got there like in a month, so you could be watching this sooner rather than later. But Ryan Reynolds, I think, needs to be careful. He's this close to being overexposed. Like, he was the one, when I was watching this movie, where I was like, man, I've seen this from you so many times. It's like Dwayne Johnson. He's like always on the cusp of that as well. Dwayne Johnson always manages to save himself. And they're actually in Red Notice together later this year, and this movie even uses the term Red Notice several times. Like, when they would say it, I'd be like, hey, wait, Ryan Reynolds is doing a movie called Red Notice, which is really similar to this. And when I think about it, you might also just want to wait for Red Notice from Netflix to come out later this year and watch that. But I still think you'll be at a jam at some point, and you'll want to have this in your pocket to, again, have while you eat dinner and then have it in the background while you do something else. It's a chore movie. It's not a chore to watch it. It's to have on while you do chores. And again, you'll be grateful for it. Also, fair warning, this movie is extremely vulgar. Not in an offensive way, but in you should be careful about how you watch it, like who else might be in the house, or if you're outside, or like on a plane or something. Make sure you have your headphones in or turn the volume down. Or if you are going to go see it in theaters, keep that in mind when you decide who to go with. I mean, it's extremely vulgar. Very, very vulgar. So that's my review of The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Only in theaters, but then it'll eventually go to sweet, sweet streaming, which I feel is where it belongs. They also clearly want to make another one. I don't know about that, but we'll see. All right, share your thoughts down below, subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.